about your school experience, those kindergarten to senior years. Were they great? Were they maybe a little less great? Did you have teachers that you liked, or maybe teachers that you hated? For many, school was not the most pleasant experience, and in the media, it's often described as, or portrayed as a place that's devoid of life, obligatory, prison-like, unjust, and uninteresting. However, while those portrayals are often just a little bit of what we see, many people feel that that's their only option is to attend public schools. Because school is obligatory, and as well because they don't have the funds. Private school actually costs over $10,000 typically, and so many parents feel like their only option is to send their children to public schools. Public schools, though, they have many problems with them. There's limited competition, which means that there's no consequence for schools that fail their students as well. They typically have one-size-fits-all programs that don't benefit students that are maybe not in the perfect place, that are falling behind or struggling. And they have seen in the last few years a disturbing trend of a school-to-prison link that affects mainly minorities, low-income students, and students with disabilities. That actually was studied more in a report by Higgins in 2008, or no, by Heitzberg in 2008, that public schools, those students were treated like criminals, and they were treated poorly by their educators because of their lack of ability to fit in their perfect mold. And so because of that, those students were not able to succeed and often ended up in prison. So what's the option? If public school is the only available option for many people, what can they do? And it turns out that there is something that we have available to us, and that's in the form of government vouchers. So vouchers are basically like a grant, but for K through 12 education. And parents have the ability to choose where their students attend school. And they're actually widely popular. In the last year, there was 181,175 voucher recipients, according to Education Choice. And they benefit many people. They benefit those students that are part of that school to prison pipeline, those minority students, low-income families, and students with disabilities as well. They benefit struggling students. There's actually a study done by Higgins that said that there was a 21% increase in the likelihood to graduate by students that attended public schools, or private schools versus public schools, and who took advantage of that voucher program. It also has many economic benefits. Economist Milton Friedman said that free markets offer a much better way to hold institutions accountable. Why would we reward failing schools with an infinite stream of tax dollars? It creates competition in the market, and so it means that schools that are doing well, that are really helping students, are able to continue to do that and continue to thrive. There are, however, some objections. The New York Times called this a simple fix. They said that because private schools, they don't have to comply with the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, they aren't necessarily the best option for those students. However, in that same article, many of the parents that they interviewed said that the reason that they chose to use voucher programs and to send their children there was because they had suffered in public school, to the extent one parent said that she actually had a child who was restrained and had bruises when they came home because they're restrained by their public school teachers, and they're often segregated and treated poorly. And so private schools was a great option for them. As well, people are concerned that it does take away funding from public schools and gives it to private schools. But like we said before, those economic benefits really help to affect this, that those schools that are doing well will continue to receive funding that they need. So those vouchers aren't perfect, but they are a step in the right direction. Families are able to choose their learning environment. They're able to get better education both in the public and in the private sector. And low-income families are given access to any education that they need. The U.S. government currently spends over $11,000, according to governing.com, per year per student. That money could be used to provide grants to help those students to get the best education that they need in the best way that they need it. What this means to you, it means that you can get informed, that you can share your knowledge, and that you can support the cause. It's a very controversial issue today. It's very popular and it's common in the media. and you have the ability to share what you know and to help those students that really need it. Thank you.